Hello students, our today's topic is from the chapter hydrocarbons, and firstly we are starting with alkanes. Alkanes are also known as paraffins. These are some basic theoretical points that when you read NCERT that you will get that one. I am directly starting with the preparation of alkanes. Okay. Now firstly by catalytic hydrogenation of alkene or alkyne. There we can use multiple catalysts like H2 with platinum, H2 with platinum, H2 with palladium. Okay. With nickel catalyst, slight heating or heating and high temperature and pressure is given in NCERT. So you can mark that point that platinum and palladium term is that even at room temperature reaction is there, but with nickel some or high temperature and pressure is required. Fine. Now here the product will be finally saturated hydrocarbon. Like if I starting with this type of alkene, then final product will be saturated, that means CH2 CH3. Then RC triple bond CH, again it is triple bond, final product is saturated alkane, means saturated compound, that is alkane formed. Remember one thing, whether we start with alkene or alkyne, final product is a saturated hydrocarbon. Only difference is that with alkene 1 mole of H2 is consumed in first reaction, and with alkyne 2 moles of H2 consumed. Now here one point which is related to stereochemistry, that is this reaction catalytic hydrogenation is a syn addition of H2 or D2. That means you remember, if any question is asked about the product's stereochemistry, then this point is used, that this reaction is basically syn addition of hydrogens. Fine. Some examples like in this case, now it is alkene. If you add hydrogen, that is catalytic hydrogenation, on the both same sides we can add hydrogen, maybe this side. Now if the question is we get racemic mixture or meso, clearly it is a meso compound. Why? Because there are two chiral centers, and due to syn addition we are getting a cis cyclopentane product dimethyl, and that is giving a plane of symmetry, it is a meso compound formed. Okay. Then second general example, if I take this type of alkene with D2 platinum, then on the same side both D will add this, and if you see there is a plane of symmetry, it is also optically inactive compound. Then second method is by reduction of alkyl halides RX. We can use multiple reagents like RX with zinc H+, zinc acetic acid, zinc HCl, lithium aluminum hydride, or triphenyl tin hydride, or zinc with NaOH. They all finally reduce the RX to RH. So you should remember such direct reactions. Okay. Now next reaction is Wurtz reaction. Very important name reaction. We can prepare alkane, symmetrical alkanes, that is even numbered, rather saying symmetrical I should say even numbered alkanes from Wurtz reaction. Better method for even numbered alkanes. The reaction is firstly RX alkyl halide with sodium. Here to make you understand I am writing it like this, that it is 2 moles of RX, you remove it like this, Na, X remove, R combined with R and it gives RR. RR is what? It is alkane formation. Clear? Now that reaction are both proposed, like either free radical forms, carbon free radical, or carbanion form. Both are proposed mechanisms. By both we can try the examples. Key points like carbanion or free radicals are formed. Another point, primary and secondary degree alkyl halide is better to be used in Wurtz reaction. Why? Because if we take tertiary alkyl halide, then elimination reaction is also possible. So here better is with primary or secondary alkyl halide. Third, it is suitable for even numbered alkanes. To prepare even numbered alkanes, not odd number, because if we want to prepare odd number alkane, then we should take two different alkyl halides, and when we take two different alkyl halides, there will be mixture of alkanes formed. That is why we do not use this method for preparing odd number alkanes. Another point, methane cannot be prepared by Wurtz reaction. Okay? Some examples like CH3Cl, sodium ether. Ether we take as a solvent. Dry ether should be used. If moisture content is present, then sodium will react with the moisture part. CH3Cl, how many moles required? 2. I am not writing the balanced equation. In exam also rarely they give you balanced equation. Simply they give substrate Na ether. You have to identify it is a Wurtz reaction. Same way, second example, RCl secondary, it will combine with another radical or another compound. So here the possibility is maybe radical formed like this. Clear? And then they will combine. Other possibility is carbanion. Suppose here carbanion is formed, just like C minus, and it will attack on second alkyl halide. Which reaction? SN2 reaction. That means both are possible. Then you should know how to write the product. Third case, within the same molecule, two halogens, Br, radical formed, and they will combine to give you a bicyclic compound. Here other possibility is, suppose their carbanion formed, right, and it will undergo SN2 attack. Here it again gives the same product. So you can understand in both the ways. Fourth, again intramolecular Wurtz reaction. This will form maybe carbanion and it will attack backside. It will give the final product 5-membered ring. Clear? Other possibility is what? That here both radical form, they combine intramolecular Wurtz reaction. Next reaction is Korehouse synthesis. This is a good method to prepare odd number alkanes. How the reaction proceeds? We take Gilman reagent. This is Gilman reagent, R2CuLi, and we take alkyl halide. This R and this R are different. That's why what we can get, we can easily form that odd number alkane here. This is the preparation of, initial part is preparation of Gilman reagent. We take alkyl halide with lithium, it gives RLi, with CuX it forms R2CuLi, and this is the Gilman reagent. Gilman reagent treated with alkyl halide. Preferentially we take primary, secondary. Okay, and then finally we get alkane, and this is a suitable method to prepare odd number alkanes. Now in the next reaction, that is decarboxylation. By using carboxylic acid or its salt and treating it with soda lime, NaOH with CaO, and heating is done. This is decarboxylation, in which, how to remember, simply substitute COONA or COOH group by hydrogen. That means we will get alkane with one less carbon. If we are starting with, suppose, acetic acid, with soda lime, if we treat acetic acid, COOH is substituted by hydrogen. That means we will get methane as the product. Now here reaction is given, it forms RH plus Na2CO3. In this reaction, R minus, that is carbanion, is formed. That is what here written, R minus is formed as an intermediate. If you want to write, you can write it, or you can mention the time at which this reaction I am mentioning, so that when you want to revise it at particular times, you can revise those reactions. R minus is carbanion, intermediate formed in this reaction. That means more are the electron withdrawing groups, more will be the stability of carbanion, and faster will be the rate of decarboxylation. Okay? That means more are the EWG groups present on the carbon, it will be more stabilized in the intermediate form. Some examples, like first one, in this, if we treat this compound with this mixture, that means clearly decarboxylation using soda lime. Substitute this group, that is COOH, by hydrogen, we get cyclopentane. Second is not using soda lime, but it's important reaction. Why? Because if we take more electron withdrawing groups, even by heating, decarboxylation takes place. That is the significance of this reaction, that here already electron withdrawing group is present, even in without the soda lime, merely by heating, this compound or this acid will finally go to alkane formation, CO2 is removed. Third reaction with soda lime, this carboxylic acid, CaOH removed, carbanion formed. Later on it takes H plus, and finally we get alkane with one less carbon. Next important reaction is coal-base electrolysis. Now this reaction can be used to prepare alkane, can be used to prepare alkene, can be used to prepare alkyne. So here it is important for alkane preparation. We take carboxylic acid, or we can take salt of carboxylic acid, electrolysis is done, current is passed, and finally we get RR. That means here we are getting RR, from which if we take originally 2 moles, clear? And then one more point, 2 carbons are less. You can see R combining with R, but 2 carbons will be going into CO2 formation. So here important point is alkane formed, even numbered alkane formed, and CO2 is evolved at anode, clear? And at cathode H2 gas is evolved plus OH minus. So that is the equation I am writing here. Remember it, with which products are formed at which electrodes, clear? Then at anode reaction takes place, carboxylate salt, loss of electron. What is formed? O radical. Then it undergoes CO2 evolved and R radical formed. After that another R radical is also formed, that these two R radicals combine to give alkane formation. Now here in continuation with the Kolbe's electrolysis, at cathode gain of electrons, H out of 4H, 2H gains electrons, giving H2 gas plus 2OH minus. That is the mechanism, but better is if you remember the general reaction, so that in class, in exam, it will save your time also. Then next is example. If you take this example, firstly we are treating with NaOH heat, and same compound if treated with NaOH electrolysis, first one is decarboxylation and second one is Kolbe's electrolysis. In decarboxylation, COOH is substituted by hydrogen, that means cyclohexane formed. And in second one, Kolbe's method, this combined with its another mole and RR formed, plus byproduct CO2 plus H2 plus OH minus, above cyclohexane plus Na2CO3. Remember in exam they won't give you it is Kolbe's method, only by seeing the reagent you have to find out it is decarboxylation or electrolysis, Kolbe's electrolysis. Next method we can prepare from Grignard reagent. So on the right hand side, Grignard I am writing, on the right side these are the compounds which contains acidic hydrogen. They can give H plus, and that is why these all reactions are simply acid base reactions of Grignard reagent, because in Grignard R is with partial minus. So on the right side you can see all will give H plus and R gains H. RH means alkane formation. Certain compounds I am writing only H2O, H plus giving carboxylic acid, alcohol will give H plus 2, R, because R minus is sufficiently basic, it takes H plus easily. NH3 will also give H plus because R minus is sufficiently basic. Phenol we can take active methylene carbon also, right? Wherever H plus possibility is there, R minus will quickly take H plus and undergoes formation of alkane. On the left side, this reaction is SN2 reaction. Why? Because here I am taking alkyl halide. Preferentially it should be primary or secondary with Grignard R, which acts as a nucleophile. Backside attack is there and we will get R dash, that is alkane formation. Okay. Now next are the chemical reactions of alkanes. And first reaction is monohalogenation, that is free radical substitution reaction, and it is monohalogenation. In this case, alkane treated with halogen, maybe F2Cl2 Br2I2, but mainly we take either chlorination, that is Cl2, or bromination. Why? Because with chlorination reaction is extremely explosive, very fast, and with iodination reaction is extremely slow. That is why with iodination we take some oxidizing agents like HiO4, HNO3, HiO3. These are the oxidizing agents if we consider iodination, because it is generally reversible reaction. Now what is the reaction? Alkane with X2, X is substituted by halogen, that is monohalogenation reaction, and in this reaction free radicals are formed. Okay, then here another point is that in this reaction, free radical substitution reaction, if we further do the reaction, then polyhalogenation is also possible. So it depends how the conditions are mentioned in question. Generally if it is given alkane, that means sp3 carbon is given with Cl2 HNu, simply do monohalogenation until and unless any hint is given for further polyhalogenation. ठीक है. Next, it occurs in 3 steps. It is a chain reaction. 3 steps. First is chain initiation, second chain propagation, and third chain termination. In initiation step, halogen in presence of light or heat undergoes homolytic bond fission and X radicals are formed. It is endothermic step. In chain propagation step, there are 2 steps: alkane plus X radical, which generated in step 1. It undergoes homolytic bond cleavage and forms H radical, R radical. H radical combines with halogen radical and forms HX plus R radical formed. Then second step in chain propagation is R radical with X2 again. Here X radical combines with R radical. That means here again there is a homolytic bond cleavage and we get X radical, which again participates in the same way. That's why this is chain propagation step. And how reaction stops? Last is chain termination step. As the name it is, termination, that means all radicals will combine. R radical combines with X radical giving alkyl halide, X radical combines with X radical giving X2, and R radical combines with R radical giving alkane. So these are byproducts apart from the alkyl halide, which is mentioned in the main product. Clear? Then some points like it involves free radical intermediates in the reaction. Reactivity order is fastest for F2, then Cl2, then Br2, then I2. F2 explosive, I2 extremely slow, or you can say no reaction in dark conditions. With I2 it requires oxidizing agents like HiO3, HiO4 or HNO3. Another point, rate of reaction is directly proportional to stability of free radical formed. And in free radical stability generally is what? Tertiary, highly stable, secondary, then primary. But if you take more stable radicals, then it will be also faster in the free radical substitution, and that is here monohalogenation. Now next are the examples of monohalogenation. Now in this case, N-butane with chlorination. If we do chlorination, bromination, we will get the monochloro or monobromo derivatives, right? Now here firstly we identify how many types of hydrogen. So here we have how many types? 2 types. Types means if the hydrogen have same degree and same connectivity, then they are of same type. Same degree as well as same connectivity, such hydrogens are of same type. And if their degree is different or connectivity is different, then they are different types of hydrogen. So here degrees are different, primary connectivity same, one type. Second carbon, secondary degree is different. So these two are having same degree, same connectivity, they are another type, not matching with the terminal hydrogens. Okay, 2 types are there, 2 monochloro derivatives are formed, structural, they are positional isomers. Then we can check for stereoisomerism depending on the question asked. If the question is mentioning total monochloro products, then you can directly think about stereoisomerism if possible. Or it is mentioning number of monochloro structural derivatives, that means you will simply consider structural isomers formed, that is how many types of hydrogens, same number of types of monochloro or mono structural derivatives. Okay, you can again listen to that part what I said. Now here applying that one, 2 types of hydrogen, 2 structural monochloro derivatives. One is this one and other is this one. Now if the question is total, then we can think of stereo if it is possible. This carbon is becoming chiral after the reaction, that means it is total considered to be 2 dextro-levo, and this is +1, total 3, and structural isomers 2. So depending on the question you have to answer it. Next question, there are how many types? 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. One product Br there, one product Br there. Then if you consider stereo also, then this carbon becomes chiral. So again, depending if the question is structural monobromo derivatives, then you can mention 2. If total monobromo derivatives, 2 + 1, 3. Third question, I am not writing all the possibilities, only mentioning major product. Why major? This one, because this is generating tertiary radical and this will be major product. So here we are there. If we have to write all the possibilities, so firstly we write structural 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Total 5 types of hydrogen. We will write 5 structural products, then we can check for stereo as well. But for such type of questions in exam, mostly they give with less number of types of hydrogen, and then you can consider the stereo also. In next question, major product. Now here how many types? 2 types, because benzene will not participate like this. Cl2H nu, benzene will not participate in that condition. We will consider sp3 carbon will participate in this reaction and free radical form. There one type, second type, 2 types of hydrogen. That means we can write 2 types of monochloro derivatives. Important point is major product. Now if radical is formed there, this will be benzyl radical, secondary benzyl, highly stable. Are you getting? The major product I am writing directly here. The major product is Cl there. And this is a chiral center. If you remember, if you see that one, and if it is a chiral center, then depending on the question we can answer further about stereoisomerism. Next reaction is catalytic oxidation or controlled oxidation. Methane with O2 with catalyst copper heating at high pressure, 100 atmospheric pressure. This above reaction gives methanol. You remember these reactions, these are direct reactions given in NCERT. Whatever information based reactions are there, we should remember because they are given directly in NCERT. Otherwise there are numerous reactions which are direct reactions and there is no use to remember them. Why? Because it depends from this chapter which are the most relevant equations or reactions. If you follow any other books, you will get so many one-liner reactions which are not important. Clear? So this reaction is important. With methane, we treat it with copper high temperature or iron high temperature and high pressure, or it is temperature 523 Kelvin. This results into methanol. If we take oxides of molybdenum, same CH4 plus O2, it gives formaldehyde. Important reaction, can be used in multi-step synthesis. Then next reaction is ethane with O2 in presence of manganese acetate. It gives acetic acid. Again, direct reaction, can be used in multi-step synthesis in carboxylic topic as well. Next is oxidation of alkane. Although alkanes are less reactive and does not easily undergo, they don't undergo easily in oxidation. But the alkanes which contains tertiary hydrogen, they undergoes oxidation if we use KMnO4, potassium permanganate, and they give alcohol formation. So here there is a tertiary carbon which contains hydrogen, so that finally gives tertiary butyl alcohol. So these are directly NCERT based reactions. Now next reaction in alkanes, isomerization. Now this is also a part of chemical reaction. Isomerization is that alkane, if we take this one with AlCl3 in presence of dry HCl, it undergoes some kind of hydride shifts or alkyl shifts and give us branching. So remember whatever examples are given, because mechanisms are not there but direct reactions are there. Okay, so here with butane, it gives this branched compound which is isobutane. With hexane, these two products are formed. Other byproducts are also possible, but that are not quoted because they are minor products. Important is that any term is given, alkane, HCl, AlCl3, clearly understand that it is giving you a branched alkane. Fourth reaction is aromatization. Now in this reaction, generally reagents are platinum with Al2O3 alumina high temperature high pressure, or Cr2O3 alumina high temperature high pressure, or V2O5 Al2O3 high temperature high pressure, or platinum at 600 degrees Celsius, or sulfur selenium at 600 degrees Celsius. They all are aromatizing agents. Okay, now this is basically dehydrogenation. We take N-hexane with these reagents. Firstly, it cyclizes, that means it is C6H14 dehydrogenated in presence of these reagents and forms cyclohexane, and then platinum 600 degrees Celsius, or again we can mention it finally goes to benzene formation. That is why it is aromatization. Even in the exam you can directly mention benzene formed. Another example, N-heptane, it undergoes same way, firstly cyclize and then aromatize. So remember these aromatizing agents. Next reaction is pyrolysis, that means thermal decomposition. Higher alkanes on heating at this temperature range break down into smaller fractions, giving smaller alkanes, or lower alkenes, and hydrogen gases evolve. This is general way. We should not go into much depth of these reactions. Why? Only 5 lines are given, remember that only. Because there are some more important reactions and we should never focus on such side type of reactions, because it depends. When you solve the questions, then you understand that impact of other reactions in the final questions asked. So that is why pyrolysis is term used. Understand the meaning of pyrolysis and what are the 2-3 examples you generally get from this part. Example here I am writing it like here, it is C6H14, that is hexane. On heating it at this temperature we get multiple possibilities. One such possibility is giving that one, cyclohexane, C6H12 plus H2. Other possibility is we can get C4H8 and C2H6, ethane plus butene formed. Other possibility is we get methane, we get ethene, we get propene. So these are the possibilities given in NCERT, so you can revise those particular examples. Okay.